Here we have your cerebrum, you have your frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, and your temporal lobe. Then you have your central sulcus, which separates your frontal from your parietal lobes. Then you have your precentral gyrus and your postcentral gyrus. Your precentral gyrus deals with motor, and your postcentral deals with sensory.
This is the cerebellum.
Then when you have a mid-sagittal cross-section of the brain, you have your cingulate gyrus, which surrounds your corpus callosum. You have your corpus callosum, and then when you open this up, you have your basal ganglia.
After looking at your cortex, you have your brainstem, which includes your medulla oblongata, your pons, your midbrain, your corpora quadrigemina, which includes your superior colliculi and your inferior colliculi. You have your diencephalon, which includes your thalamus and your hypothalamus. You have your pineal gland right here and your pituitary gland right here. Looking at the ventricles, you have your fourth ventricle right here. It's better seen on this one. You have your cerebral aqueduct, which connects the fourth ventricle to the third ventricle. The third ventricle is in between your thalamus and like the space in your diencephalon. You have your septum pellucidum, which separates your lateral ventricles on each side of the brain, and it's behind there, on that one and that one. You have your choroid plexus right here on top of the thalamus and the pineal gland. Then you have your interventricular foramen, which separates the fourth ventricle or the lateral ventricles from the third ventricle, and it's the little hole that's right in there.
Then you have your optic nerve and your olfactory nerve. Now we're moving on to the meninges of the spinal cord. This outer layer is your dura mater. Then you have your arachnoid mater inside of that, and then around this is the pia mater. Here we have a transverse cross-section of your spinal cord. You have your gray matter and your white matter. You have your central canal, your gray commissure, and your white commissure. Here we have your posterior horn and your anterior horn. Your anterior horn has the ventral root, which deals with motor information, and your posterior root has the dorsal root, which carries sensory information, and also has a dorsal root ganglion. They come together to form the spinal nerve. Once they split off, they form your anterior nerves, which go to your superficial back muscles and your anterior muscles. And then it splits off into your posterior nerves, which go to your deep back muscles.
Breaking off into the spinal nerves, you have your brachial plexus right around here, which splits off into your median nerve down there, and then your ulnar nerve as well. Then you have your femoral nerve.